Hi guys, Rusty again. So I figured we would talk a little bit about shocks. I know I've been on this subject a couple times, but so my super shocks I just recently got, they've been doing beautifully, nice and smooth. I do start to notice a little more of that extra half inch of lowering and drag a little faster in turns sometimes. Not a big deal, just slow my ass down a little bit. Usually I'm pushing pretty hard and I'm still learning the bike because believe it or not, the difference in handling is just way different. So, yep, these are shocks. Big old shocks. Well, but those are not the shocks we're going to talk about today. This was from my days of doing off-roading. Anybody wants a pair of these shocks, let me know. I can hook you up for a phenomenal fee. Anyways, so let's talk about these shocks. These shocks are the Progressive Rate 412's. I had them on there for right about 39,000 miles. Now let's see if we can get that logo in there. Anyways, there you go. I would not call these bad shocks. Like I said, I put 39,000 miles on them. What I would consider them is a slight upgrade over factory. So factory shocks on my bike were air shocks. These I put on there, I didn't have to worry about the air. They did handle better, and they had a little bit of an improved ride, as they just didn't bottom out quite as bad, or they just wasn't as stiff, and they did corner a little better. So I can't complain about them. They're not the shocks I have now, but we're not comparing apples to apples on that. That's kind of an apples and oranges thing. Because if I would have spent the money on Progressive that I spent on Super Shocks, I'm pretty sure I would have ended up with a much different shock out of Progressive as well. And matter of fact, I know I would have, and they offer a much better warranty on those shocks. Some of those shocks even are lifetime warranted, like the Super Shocks I bought. These, however, are not. They're only like a 1-year warranty, but they are more of a OEM replacement, just like you would do on a car. You know, if you were to go down the road and you wore your OEM shocks out, this would be something like you would go to the auto parts store and buy to replace your OEM shocks, is how I would kind of rate them. They're a little better than the OEM, but they're more of an OEM replacement. Were they worth the money at the time? Man, the ride was better, the handling was better. I can't complain about them, so I would say they were worth the money. If you're the guy that gets your bike and you ride 5,000 miles in its lifetime, they're a stand-up option. You know, you're not going to hurt these shocks in the type of riding you do. And I'm being facetious when I say that 5,000 mile. We've seen all them bikes on Craigslist or Marketplace or wherever you shop at. But my point is if you don't ride your bike a lot, they would probably last you forever. If you're a guy that gets a bike and you're banging out like 10, 20,000 miles a year, you might want to spend a little extra money and get into a little better shock. And the reason I say that is those are roughly around $300 shocks, if I remember right. A little fuzzy, but some fuzzy math in there. But I would say that if you could ride them shocks and they hold you up for the life of your riding on that motorcycle, and you trade it off, or you're the guy that's going to just ride on the weekends once in a while, and this is your retirement plan, just to tool around from bar to bar, and you're tired of pumping air up in your shocks, these are definitely your go-to. It's money fairly well spent, in my opinion. Just know that they could fail at some point. I mean, it is a mechanical device, and they do fail. Mine failed. It started spraying oil everywhere. But like I said, almost 40,000 miles on these shocks. If you're the guy that rides a lot, though, and you're going to put those kind of miles, I would rather put my $300 towards, say, an $800 set of shocks than put a $300 set of shocks on there and 4 years later put $800 shocks on there. because now your $800 shocks have just cost you $1,100 because you just went through 2 sets instead of doing it once the first time like I did. So, but we all have to try. We all have to experiment and see what products we like. Now, I did like the shocks. They did do well. Um, I don't think they did as well two up. When my wife was on there, it seemed to get a little stiff over the railroad tracks and stuff like that. These new shocks, I haven't really had a chance to be two up with it, but I think she's going to be pleasantly surprised. Um, so all in all, I would rate them pretty decent, depending on your riding style, and that's really where a lot of this type stuff falls. Your use of it and your opinion of what you want and like. Some people like a little stiffer ride. Somebody wants a little more cush. It's just what you want is the big thing, and that's my opinion of them, anyways. Um, if you got a set of these shocks, I know there's one or two out there that do. We've kind of talked in the comment section about it. Um, Definitely give me your opinion. Tell me if you think I'm kind of on par with what you're thinking as well, or if hey Rusty, you're a dumbass. Either way, let me know. Because you know what they say, opinions are like assholes. We all got one, so put it out there. Anyways, if you're new here, hit that like and subscribe button, hit that notification bell because we want to make sure you see these videos. We'll catch you later.